Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. To my regular viewers, thank you so much for always watching my content. Please continue to share the video with your friends, your family, everybody that you know. They may also pick up something from this video. If you're watching this for the first time and you are a new viewer, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I hope you watch all the way to the end, and I hope that you do finally also subscribe to the channel, and please hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Today's video, I'm going to be cooking lasagna. This has become almost like a family favorite, so I'll be showing you all the steps. I'll be showing you the ingredients as well as the whole process until the final meal is finally dished and served for my family. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so in terms of the ingredients, you're obviously going to need your minced meat. You can cook it really according to how you like it, how you usually cook your minced meat. It's really fine. Just make sure that when you cook it, it's not too dry and that some of the juices still remain in the meat. What I also usually like to do is put in some canned tomatoes in the minced meat just to give it that bit of juiciness, but otherwise I usually just use spices I have lying around in the house. So that's the first set of preparations that you will need to do when you are cooking the lasagna. And then while you're cooking the lasagna, you would also want to prepare your white sauce. So now this is the sauce that will go in between the layers of the lasagna, and for that you would need white bread flour, and then you would also need butter, and then you would also need milk to make the white sauce. I also put in cream as well, and then cheese. Obviously, I mean, lasagna and cheese, right? They go together. I only have cheddar cheese, so that's what I'll be using today. So that's the other batch that you also need to prepare. You need the lasagna sheets. I have these ones, Serena. You can buy any lasagna. There's so many varieties. There are also some with spinach and all of that. So you just need to then also buy these and use this when you are preparing the lasagna. So the white sauce and the mincemeat you obviously prepare on your stove, and then once you have prepared these two, then you transfer the lasagna to your oven and you bake it for about 45 usually it's about 45 minutes. When you are cooking the mince, don't cook the white sauce and the minced meat together, because obviously the mince will take a bit of a while to cook, but the white sauce is very quick. So if you cook them together, you are more likely to be done with the white sauce first, and then it will be standing while you are waiting for the minced meat to finally cook. So rather cook the minced meat first, and then once you are almost at the end of the process for cooking the minced, then you can start with your white sauce so that the white sauce doesn't stand and get cold. Yep, so let's get cooking. Another reason why it's good to have sauce in your minced meat is that it spreads easier on the lasagna, and then it also gives it a bit more volume so that you don't need too much minced meat, and the sauce from the meat can also fill up the lasagna sheets. Yeah, the minced meat is cooked basically, so I'll just spice it and then I'll move on to the white sauce. Put like 3-4 teaspoons of butter, and don't let it be too hot as well. Just let it simmer on a bit low heat. I'm going to add a few spoons of white flour to to the melted butter. Don't add too much at once. And then you just stir it a bit. You'll see it will start to form clumps, like little clumps, as you can see. So once it has formed this, almost like clumps, we add the milk. And it's very important, as you add the milk, you continue to stir and whisk vigorously. Add a little bit of milk, stir, add milk, and then you stir. You stir, and you will see that as you continue to stir, it will start to thicken very quickly as well. But you continue to add milk until you are happy with the consistency. Just add more milk. You whisk. And as you are doing this as well, don't forget about your mince. If it's still on the pot, you don't want it to overcook as well. Some people add salt and pepper, but I prefer to add Aromat. I don't know, for me, it just makes the sauce taste a bit better. That's just my personal preference, but you can add a little bit of salt and pepper if you want. I'm going to add some cream to this as well. And then you let it simmer for a few minutes. So I'm going to add the cheese now. Okay, this is it done. We are done, guys. Now we move on to the process of layering this in the pan, and then we'll put it in the oven. But as you can see, you see that consistency? Very nice. I think that's the type of consistency you should want in the sauce. If it's too thick, you can still add a bit more milk if you want it a bit more thinner, but I think I like this type of consistency. I start with a bit of the white sauce at the bottom of the pan to kind of avoid the sheets from sticking to the pan. So obviously you first butter your pan a little bit. You can either use non-stick cooking spray or a little bit of butter. Then we are going to take the lasagna sheets and stack it at the bottom of the pan, like so. Depending on how big your pan is, you'll just have to see how you layer them. They shouldn't overlap like that, otherwise they don't cook properly. So either then you put this one down here. Sometimes what I like to do, if there's maybe a spot, like a little bit of spot there, sometimes I take, I don't know, you don't want to waste these things, so I take a little bit of the sheet and then I just break it and then I can put it like that. I don't know, that's just what I do, because to kind of cover some of the spaces. And then after that, put a bit of your meat sauce. You just sprinkle it over the sheets. Just make sure that there's just enough. And then what I like to do after that, I put a bit of the white sauce over the meat sauce, like that, and a little bit of cheese in between as well. So after you do that, you add the next layer of your lasagna sheets, and then you continue like this until you're done. And then there's this spot here, and then I can add that, but as I said, do not let the sheets overlap like this. So then I would break off a piece like that so that they don't overlap, and then they can cook evenly. Then you have to end with the lasagna sheets, and then you add generous amount of cheese at the top. I also like to make sure that, you know, in between the spots where there's no meat, I just make sure that the white sauce covers those areas so that the sheets can continue to cook. But you get the drill, guys. So I'm just gonna finish this up and then I'll show you the final one before I put it in the oven. We don't want to waste, people. We don't want to waste. So just put those scraps that are breaking out anywhere where you see open spaces. You know, at the end of the day, who's gonna see if the piece was straight or not? They are just gonna love the flavor. Make sure by now that your oven is warmed up. It's on, it's waiting for the lasagna to come in and can start doing its job. This is the last layer, so now we are going to put the white sauce over this. Make sure it's evenly, nicely covered. So this is it. This is the final product. I'm going to put it in the oven and let it bake for about 45 minutes at about 150 degrees. So guys, I am done. I've just taken the lasagna out of the oven and this is the results. It looks delicious, right? So I'm just gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes before I cut it into pieces and dish. But otherwise, this is it, and this is the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. A reminder to please subscribe, share, like, comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.